Hey everybody, Ivan here. I hope you're doing well. Now, I don't know about you, but lately I enjoy doing some character work. And to do a character, you kinda have to know where they live. A couple of weeks ago, I reached out to the lovely Janelle Knight to create a world for a character within it. So the idea was she created a world, sent to me the picture without anything else, without any pitch, and I'd have to create a character off of it. Now, if you haven't seen her video, it's in the description, go check it out. She did a wonderful job. So, without further ado, let's head into it, shall we? Okay, step 1. Rage gather reference. It's pretty out of my depth. Okay. The one thing I knew is that I really wanted to include the markings and designs of the stones. Everything seemed quite mystical and huge in that sense. And that was a feeling that I went for. Now the first thing that I really wanted to do is to create a character that somehow interacted with the world directly. Now I learned that usually it's not too good to create the main character, you know? Because in general, main characters in that sense aren't too distinct. The main focus for me was, again, you can see it in all of the little thumbnails, the little sketches, are those stones. I kind of felt drawn to them. The reference, I kind of centered everything around that, having some tropical aspects of it, having some, direct ideas of what I can implement. And the first idea that I had, that I didn't absolutely hate, was this little, I don't even know what it is. It's like a little robo guy that makes those markings. Thought it worked pretty well. It's something a little avant-garde. It doesn't immediately sync up, but with the feeling that I got from the piece, it worked for me at the time. Now, judging by the thumbnail, you know that I did not go with this one. It turns out my rage drawing kinda ended pretty fast. So, where did it go wrong? Well, I threw in the values, kind of put some basic perspective that I thought would work well, yeeted in some color, and look how it worked. Now the idea was that I kinda keep the same color scheme. Yeah, just a similar color scheme of the original one, of Janelle's piece, so that it kind of works together immediately. Tried different backgrounds. No, it's not working. It's not working. A couple of hours in at the time, I think like 4 hours, because I couldn't get it. Well, fuck it. Throw it away, create a silhouette, make everything new. Okay, got some reference off screen. You see I'll have it a bit chopped, the recording, because I did that pretty late at night, and the thing is I forgot to record once, but the major chunks are all in there. So I fiddled around with a frog, because I think a frog would fit as well. It kind of was an epiphany late at night when I thought, well, what would I go in there? What would go well with what's going on? So I still want to have something with the stones. I still very much so like the concept of these markings and the magical, mythical aspect of it. So I started, kind of combining those two ideas, having just spitballing to myself, having the frog kind of marked. And the idea is, he's chilling there. I'll let you fill in the story. I don't want to. I heard that a good character and an illustration doesn't really need too much. And honestly, it's pretty open. It's a pretty open to imagination, the concept of it. So it's not to be taken too seriously, I guess. Alright, so I filled in the values, had the background, everything separated. To this point it's pretty loose still, and as you can see it's a bit choppy right now, because I basically filled in the marks. There are little doodles on the character, and I forgot to record. But other than that, I really didn't do much. Now I just yeeted in some color and found some ideas, and okay, where do I want to go with it? What's the general mood? and what's the vibe of the piece. And I just started rendering away. The rendering process didn't really... I always love to render. It's the most calming part of the whole thing, because you can just go for it. But at this point, something still felt off, and here I decided to change the marking. Something doesn't work. It's not... I don't want to go for some tattoo markings. I want to combine the creature as much as I can with the end product, and that end product in that sense, well, were the stones, were the world, and everything inside it. So I decided to quickly throw in some color, have it really vibrant and really pop out, throw in some highlights here and there, immediately throw it out again because I didn't like it. And here I was at a point where I was really happy with it. I fiddled around with a couple of, details, the character, but in general that wasn't the goal. And the idea, or the takeaway from the whole thing was my pre-production, I'm gonna call it, took way longer, including the character I made that I threw away, than when I actually was satisfied with what I was going with. And that has been and is still the case for me, that if I'm not totally happy with something, I'm trying to make it work, and I'm trying to make it work, and at some point, if you know it doesn't work, then just throw it away. Just get it out and do it again. And here I did something completely different. If you go back, the Robo character, I mean, it has an anchor point that is very similar with the stones and obviously the world, but in general it was something completely different. Never imagined that I would draw a frog here that would chill on the stone, being super chill about it. That wasn't the intention, and I would have never found it if I wouldn't have dared to, I'm gonna call it, having my emotions become the best, get the best of me, and delete the whole thing and do it again. The character itself took about, I think, 3 hours to make, to render, get the whole thing going. So really not too long. And the whole pre-production phase took like 4 hours. I'm gonna call it pre-production, the whole idea of figuring out those things. So, if you make a character, don't be discouraged if, the starting point doesn't really work. It's much more important to get a good start, to have a good fundamental character going. And from there on out, it's way, way easier to make everything else. Sign it, export it, and that's it. Again, thanks so much to Janelle for the great piece. It was super challenging. I really didn't imagine it to be so out of my comfort zone, but it worked really well, I feel like, and it was a lot of fun. So go check her channel out if you haven't yet, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.